Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of Last Cloudia. 'Tis the season to pull a new Christmas unit. Let's go ahead and talk about the gotcha. Starting with Saintly Lilebette. That's right, I was not actually expecting them to release a new Christmas unit, mainly because we've literally had the same Christmas unit for 2 years, so year 3 of the Christmas time of us having this game, we get a new unit. So Lilibet, what we got here, and this is also going to be the second character in this entire game who has a third form, or a second shift, if you will. Alright, so this character is a sniper. Now I will tell you that is awesome. I've been using her. Her normal attacks are great. It almost feels like using V from DMC, except no debuffing, but it's really, really cool. So moving along, strength 1407 is not so bad. Decent defense in mind as well. Intelligence is kind of low, but she's not really going to be doing offensive magic. But the rest of her stats are all pretty good in general. In terms of attribute resistance, she has positive to fire, ice, and light. So she's doing really good there with only one weakness. As far as element resistance, fortunately she is weak to blind, but how many enemies really put blind on characters? You also have resistance to poison, silence, and curse, which is nice to see. And then she's nil to illness, which is definitely preferable, especially if you're planning on doing a crit build, which is what I will be doing. And you'll see why soon. In terms of skills, she's going to be a ice physical DPS unit, so just keep that in mind. Her S1, very important, basically have a chance to inflict movement speed debuff on the enemy, similar to Nocturne Tinkeely's S2. And then, of course, the special has the chance to cut enemy. Oh, so it's not even a chance, it just happens. It cuts enemy ice resistance just in general. So if we can get her special off fast, that's another, lowering resistance, which we all like to see, some piercing, elemental wise. And then you have her two traits. We have Sniper Santa. When physical attacking, damage and damage cap are proportionate to distance of long range attacks, max of 40% and 6,000 damage cap. And like I mentioned earlier, she is a sniper, like legit. She does actually attack from range, which is beautiful, so this should be easy to pull off. When far enough from enemy, crit rate plus 5%. I have no idea what the distances are, so I'm not going to comment on that. Just being able to have more crit is just great for her in general. Machine equip, cut defense 5%, and then deal damage. So she has another piercing effect in lowering defense when you have a machine equip. So that's going to be important too. This character has a lot of very unique stuff that I like. I think this character is going to be a lot of fun to play. Let's go on to the second trait. We're looking at Season of Giving. I have to scroll this up because it's actually a long explanation. So it says battle start, apply to highest strength ally, excluding the unit, so not including her. You give her a killer slayer damage plus 30% buff and killer slayer physical damage against most numerous enemy types buffs. Physical damage effect lost when unit is incapacitated, basically when she dies. So more or less, she gives a buff to a different unit on your team that has the highest strength stat. And then what that buff does is increases your killer slayer damage by 30%. Now, as far as the and part where it says killer slayer physical damage against most numerous enemy types buff, I don't know what that's supposed to mean. So I don't know. I'm going to assume it's very good, but I don't quite understand what that wording is supposed to actually mean, so I'm going to leave that one alone. Maybe one of the pros will clarify. As far as her skills, well, she has, magic and skills. So her magic is high protection, high magic barrier, grand brave, and high vitality. I believe all of these are going to be single target. Physical damage. Okay, I'm sorry. So yeah, all of it is single targeting buffs to a character if you choose to go that route. And then the skills. Now, to be perfectly honest, I'm probably not going to use any of those spells. But moving along, they're good but not necessary. We have Fighting Spirit 4, so getting a boost of strength and HP at the same time is always good. Crit up 2, Advanced Aim Vitals and Proud Force, very good for the crit package. I definitely recommend using a crit build for this character for multiple reasons. We also have Brute Slayer, which we love to see. Any kind of multi-slayer is just beautiful to have for free. Auto crit character, obviously. Ardor makes perfect sense. Gale Force. This is the one that max HP, SCT recovery speed plus 10%. So again, you're doing the crit build so you can do Proud Force so you can stay at high HP so you can get all these beautiful bonuses. We also have Ice High Drive, Ice Attack Raise, Ice Attack Raise 3, which is the one that gives you damage cap, and Ice Critical Raise. So all just beautiful skills right here for her element. We have Yule Feast, so Bell End fully restores all SCT stocks, fully restores all SCT skills SCTs and 20% HP. That's beautiful. Now, I don't think I've unlocked it yet for my character, so I haven't been able to have fun with that particular skill, but yeah, basically this is kind of like a Pirate's Feast, but, you know, a lot better because you get HP. Why not? Goddess Kiss, because why not? I mean, if you're planning on doing anything that drains your MP as far as a skill, or if you're planning on casting spells with her, you know, there's a couple of options that you have, but Goddess Kiss for free is always nice to see. Maglion, we see this a lot now, and then Maglion's Shield, so she gets the offensive and defensive part. We got Dual Wield innate, so that's always good to have for free. Bow High Boost, which is basically damage plus 20%, crit plus 7% when you have a bow equipped. We have Machine Boost as well, which is going to basically clue you in that you should be equipping a machine and a bow if you want to fully utilize her, and you'll see why here shortly. Right now, actually, Sniper Shot. Machine equipped crit damage plus 10%. Bow equipped crit damage cap 2000. So again, we are heavily emphasizing a crit build for this character, and if you're using a bow as well, since you are dual wielding, you should go ahead and use a bow and a machine like I am definitely doing. You will get both the crit damage plus 10% and damage cap 2000 to your hits, your critical hits at least for the criticals. So, and there's Sharp Eyes. So, okay, there you go. So you have Sharp Eyes to go with the Goddess Kiss. So she's got a lot of really, really good kit here that just does everything you really want it to do. You just have to, like, fine-tune some of the, you know, things that could be missing. Mercury's Veil. So activate a barrier once every 30 seconds that nullifies status elements. So this is definitely something that's for the long game. If you're fighting one of those bosses that takes a while, that could be useful. And then you have Beast Alliance for free. Why not? We have Snow Blossom. When buffing with units' active skills, units' next skill deals damage plus 20%. Huh. Why did I get an extra bonus? Double Guns. 2 weapons equipped. Ice damage plus 20%. Ice damage cap 3000. Regular attacks have a chance to deal ice extra damage. Now, all that is great. I mean, getting a boost of damage and damage cap, but then just a cherry on top, letting your regular attacks, which are great since you can hit from a distance, can basically give you a pursuit attack like Icy Guardian, for example. So really, really good to see. I like this already. Surprise Present. Battle start, apply a killer and slayer damage cap of 3000 buff to an ally with the highest strength excluding the unit. So when we talked earlier about her boosting, you know, the highest strength character with one of her abilities, this will also add to that, which is just beautiful. She's enabling another character to be fantastic, which I like that. I like characters that not only can do well on their own, but can also support the team, or in this case, a team player. This is a really, really good package of skills. I love it a lot. I really, really do. So, yeah, as far as I'm concerned, this is a fantastic unit. One of the funnest units I've seen in a while. I really, really like her a lot. And it's nice that we finally got a second Christmas unit. And the Christmas units are usually pretty good. Like Theria, a lot of people probably don't remember because a lot of people were probably not around. And, you know, now that you have Spirit Maiden Theria out, people have more or less forgotten Saintly Theria. but she was the best dedicated light mage in the game for a long time. So, that's kind of one of those things where, she does actually prove the test of time. She did get a buff, and it's a good buff. But focusing on Lilibet, I think that she's definitely nice to pull. I think that if you pull her, you'll have a lot of fun with her. Again, she's definitely something that I give my personal stamp of approval on, and I'm glad that I pulled her. We also have Santa Girls. All right, so let's take a look at the arc trait. At battle start, apply an ice damage plus 20% buff to all allies for 60 seconds. Continuous vitality effect. Physical damage taken cut for each buff on a unit, minus 3% per buff, max of 30%. So basically, if you're building, a team of a few, ice damaging units, they're going to get a buff. It's okay. I think it's a situational thing, but it's okay. What can we learn? We can learn stocks go on, which is always good to see, especially if you're doing the whole honey elixir thing. It's good to be able to spam more skills. We got Blizzard, you got Christmas Carol, which is a new one. Battle start, apply a damage taken minus 10% buff to the unit for 100 seconds. Effect is cut by 1% every 10 seconds. This is basically meant for any kind of game mode that is going to end pretty quickly, where at least you can survive for a little while. That's what I'm seeing right here. So it seems okay. I mean, it costs 5, which I think is decent for what it does. So it's an okay ability. Chance Drive, you got Ice Armor, and then of course you have Ice Mega Boost, which to me is the big one here. Ice Magic Damage plus 30% and Ice Magic Damage cap 2,000. This is great. Especially for those of you who use mages. Like, there are a lot of people that are more stuck on physical DPS, and that's fine. I actually like mages too, so I have a few characters that do ice magic, and I will definitely be equipping this skill to those specific characters. But yeah, Ice Mega Boost is really what this arc is specifically for me personally. The Arc Ether Award is the Yule Present. So this is an accessory that gives you a whole list of buffs. We got HP 250, Strength 20, Int 20, Defense 20, Mind 20, and MP 25. So you're getting, we have a couple of accessories already in existence that give you a buff to all stats. I think it's Crown of the Sun, and then there's like a few others. But this one also has some extra stuff too. So Continuous Vitality Effect, which is basically more HP. Battle start, apply a strength, defense, and mind buff of 40% buff to the unit, which is really, really good for any kind of mode that you're expecting to not take too long. You're just getting a large buff for a short period of time. So good for bursting or good for surviving if you need to survive long enough to take advantage of the situation. So this is actually decent. I'm not going to say it's top tier or anything, but I think it's good. I think, if I got the arc, and I'll eventually work on this and get it to max, and I'll give it to someone, because again, you're getting stats across the board. That's the one thing you have to understand here that makes this actually decent. As far as the trade, I think it's okay, but I think the stat buffs are really the big thing here. And also you have resistance to curse, which is always nice to see as well. So I think this is for a very specific mode, but there are other things you can use for it. Again, it's decent, but overall, I think this is a decent arc. It's not. I don't think it's top tier or anything, but I think it's good enough. The Ice Mega Boost for me is what I'm going for here. When I use it, I'm going to be learning Ice Mega Boost for a lot of characters that I have, so that whenever I do decide to use them again, they'll be able to get some more damage cap. Because why not? So yeah, overall pretty good. All right, let's talk about what the paid items are. So for our Saintly Lilebette, we have an accessory called the Frosty Yule Friends. This gives you HP plus 500 and Strength plus 50. Stats are actually pretty decent, especially for the HP part. I think it's alright. Strength is okay too. It says changes unit's appearance when equipped. Basically, she'll have a black suit instead of a red suit, similar to Saintly Theria's suit. She has an equipment as well that changes it to black. Unfortunately, the equipment in general is not so great, but it's more of a visual thing. Continuing on, it says continuous protection, haste effect, battle start, auto cast Ice Wall 2. So Oh, and then for resistance, you have plus 10 to fire, and then you have resistance to both blind and stun. So overall, the things to take note about this particular thing is the continuous haste and protection is really the best benefit, in my opinion. The Battlestar Ice Ball 2 is only going to be good for specific scenarios, so nothing really to brag about. Uh, and again, the stats on the accessory are decent. You're getting both HP and strength, which is alright. But yeah, it's really the continuous haste and protection that you want. Because she does not have auto haste, which honestly is okay, to be perfectly honest with you. Just giving her haste would just be more of an added bonus, but overall, I think it's decent. But let's see how it compares to the other item. All right, so the second item we have is the Yule Fest Ice Bazooka. So we have an ice attribute machine, strength of 215, chance for specials to deal critical damage, continuous brave effect, ice attack damage cap 1500. It's pretty straightforward. It's an ice damage dealing machine. The being able to do crits on specials is decent, especially since this is going to be a crit based unit. But the main thing you like is continuous brave, so more offense, and then of course the ice damage cap of 1500. So yeah, overall it's pretty good. It's nothing that has anything super crazy. It's just a good weapon. Now, obviously, I've actually already purchased this. This is why I'm on a kind of a different screen here. But yes, I definitely choose this over the accessory, mainly because I do like the auto brave. Basically, I do like the ice damage cap. Since he is dual wielding, that means you're going to be getting a lot more value with the damage cap. Since you're getting dual wield for free, and the strength stat is I would consider decent. So overall, I think it's good. That's really the best I can say, and I think it's better than the accessory, which the accessory I think is just okay, but this is at least just good. Neither of these are really broken, to be perfectly honest. You might be able to find something in the shop that might be better either for a machine or a bow. Actually, let's take a look real quick. One moment. So looking through my list of ice-based machines or bows, this is actually one I think is decent. Basically, if you don't want to pay for the paid item, you can get the ice physical attack damage plus 8% from the Marine Blaster. You get a little less strength, but you also get a little bit of a boost in defense and mind. It is ice attribute. The reason that I'm emphasizing the ice attribute is she does have Goddess Kiss, and from what I've heard from people that are better than me, that having the ice element helps you with your Goddess Kiss procs, is what I hear a lot. Or having the correct element. So that's something to consider. Another, well, you can't use it. That's for a specific character. So is that. Okay, and then I guess the rest of these are nothing special, unfortunately. So if you're looking for an ice-based item, it looks like the Marine Blaster is probably going to be your best bet. Now, I'm not looking at Godforge right now because I really don't go too hard on Godforge. And I don't remember where I got this. This was either from the Medine event, the Swimsuit Alice event, or maybe it was something purchased in a shop. One of those three. So I don't know exactly where this came from, but I think this is a pretty decent substitute if you don't wish to pay for the weapons. Because I know not everybody likes to get paid items, and I respect that. Now, one thing too, I can say is, let's say if you don't really care to get the ice, and you just want a good, set of machines or bows, there is a long list of stuff that you can get. As a matter of fact, let's just go to bows because honestly, if you want to optimally use this character, I think you should be using a bow for her. So this one, let's see. That's for probably a very specific unit. I don't know if this is really the right one. There is one that I am using. It might be this one actually. So yeah, the Blazebow AG. So regular attacks are effective against gods, and then your crit damage gets boosted by 15%. So if you're not reaching cap, this might help you get to cap with your criticals. So I think that's what I'm using right now for my bow. So there you go. That's something to consider. And yeah, so I just want to kind of throw that out there too, just in case you're not willing to pay, and I do not blame you. But Overall, I'll just say that this is a really good, banner. I think the character is so much fun. I think Lilebette is going to be so much fun to use. The arc, it kind of depends on your playstyle. If you're a physical DPS person, you're probably not going to care about the arc at all. This is more, in my opinion, for people who like mages, because I think the Ice Mega Boost is the best thing about the arc. So the arc, maybe not worth chasing, but I do think Lilebette is worth at least making an attempt for. I think that she's a fantastic unit, even for just for funsies. Now, she's going to be more of your off DPS or your side DPS, because she can deal good damage, but she's also there for supporting, making your strongest person even stronger, which I love that. I'm all about having characters that can help others. Enablers are honestly the best things in the game, in my opinion. But yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me rant for a while. Until next time, keep gaming and take care, everyone. Later.